Good morning, children. Um, I'm starting a new session. It is session 3, Fundamental of Computer. It is from KIPS book. See, fundamental computer fundamentals. Fundamental means basic. You know very well. Okay. So we are going to learn about the basic of computer. But what type of basic? Whether we are going to learn about the hardware basic or software basic or the working basic. So today we are going to learn the basic of working, how computer works. Okay. See, the basic organization of a computer, how computer has been organized, means how this hardware, software, this together has been connected with each other, and how they are arranged to work together in cooperation. Okay, so today let's see first what is given in your book. A computer system has three important parts. You know very well what is input, the hardware by which we can give something inside the computer, that is known as input. And CPU is the central processing unit. It processes the input and also gives helps in giving the output. Means the main function of CPU is to process each and every thing, whether it is input or output. And an output unit means the unit by which we get something out, that is monitor, printer. From monitor we can see something that has been processed by our computer, and similarly printer, by printer we can take the printout on the paper, so that is also output. For again there is sound box, that is also giving sound out of the computer, that is also output device. So these are the these three different parts which are most important. About these three things we are going to learn, and these three also make a group of unit which works together to form IPO. What is IPO? Input, and this is processing, and then output. IPO cycle. So today we will learn about IPO cycle also. So it's a very important class in which you will learn how computer work. Okay. So input unit and central processing unit and output unit I already explained you in the very first line. Now let's read for your sake. The input unit is formed by attaching one or more input devices to a computer. A user input data are instructions through input devices like keyboard, mouse, etc. The input unit is used to provide data to the processor for further processing. So you know very well these lines, what it explains. Means here you are getting only that there is input device which helps in giving input inside the computer. Means we give some instruction to the computer with the help of input device. For example, with the help of keyboard you press a key and the computer understand. Means what you are doing, you are giving instruction to the computer. You are saying that please start the start button, then you go on moving your mouse to open my computer. Okay, like this input device, main input device, keyboard and mouse, and other input devices are a scanner, light pen, then mic. This means whatever the hardware by which we give something into the computer, inside the computer, that is called input device. Now what is central processing unit? I have already explained you, but one or more thing you are going to learn from reading this paragraph, that what are the unit in which we can measure the processing speed of CPU. See, CPU is the main unit of a computer. It controls all the internal and external devices of a computer and perform arithmetic and logical operations. means a computer central processing unit work as the head of the computer. It also accept input and also prepare the output. So all the things is controlled and managed by this CPU, central processing unit, and you will learn that it performs some arithmetic logical operation, that is ALU, and there is also memory unit and there is a control unit. These three units works together in CPU. Okay, you are going to learn in just next topic. So a microprocessor is a type of integrated circuit built on a tiny piece of silicon. Do you know about silicon? Silicon is element. Okay, on silicon you the board that you had seen in the previous video I had made, a motherboard that is made up of silicon, and similar such board is on the motherboard at a one point, and that very point have a circuit which is integrated, means many circuit have been joined together. Okay, so that is integrated piece of silicon, and there the processor has been set in your computer. So a microprocessor chip contains millions of transistors. Now these transistors are used to make micro chip, that is microprocessor chip. Okay, the transistor work together to store, manipulate data so that the microprocessor can perform a wide variety of functions. The speed of CPU is determined by the number of instructions it executes per second. So in 1 second, how many instructions, how many input the computer is taking and how many output it is giving, that is called the speed of the computer or speed of the CPU, and it is measured in megahertz. You should remember this point. A speed of the CPU is measured in megahertz. This is important. Okay, now output device is very easy, you know very well, I explained it. Okay, so now I'm not going to explain it once again. Now let's see these three unit summary. Okay, it is given in short. See, computer component and computer input unit. Input unit are examples has been given. Then memory unit, data and instructions are stored in the memory unit. So memory unit is the hard disk or RAM or ROM. Their data is saved, stored. ALU, arithmetic logic unit. Here a arithmetic and logical operation take place. And control unit, it controls all the functioning of the computer. Okay, and human beings, how human beings input unit is what? So input unit for human beings is eyes, nose, ear, mouth, etc. How we can, because because we are able to hear from our ear, so from our ear something goes inside our mind and we are able to understand, as for example I am speaking this time and you are able to listen me, and like this you are learning. Okay, so these are the way how to interact with each other. So input is very important. And see what is memory unit in our human beings. It is brain. Okay, in our brain there are so many information that is stored already. And then arithmetic logic unit. What is arithmetic logic in our human body? So arithmetic logic operations on data are performed by brain. It is the same, and brain also controls the functioning of the body. Okay, and some more control unit in our body is not given. I want to attach it. That is vertebral column and the different parts of brain. Okay, output is in the form of voice. We people give output in the form of voice, or by our hand action, or we can also do some type of sign. We can make some type of sign for giving output. Okay, so this is how input process output you can understand in human beings and in computer. So human beings also are made up of means computer has been developed according to the human uh, physiology, means whatever the physical structure of human was there, the same human had tried to made into the computer. Okay, so computer in the coming future it will become human like thing. Okay, you may have heard about the different so, tools that are working like human beings, means they have the ability to analyze some analyzing capacities human beings trying to give to the computer, and then the computer is becoming like human beings. So now you understand this figure. This figure describe the input process output, means whatever you had just seen above is explained in this figure, and this figure is very important. If you are asked to draw the figure of basic organization of computer, you should draw this figure. Okay, here you can see there is input unit, means data and instruction are given from here. Then here it is also two-way process. Okay, you can see input is going inside the computer, and the computer controls the input unit, how some data or input is coming. So control unit is connected, means two directional connection is here. Okay, and then in CPU, that is central processing unit, there is three unit, that is CU and ALU and MU, that we are going to learn in next topic. Okay, control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory unit, you should remember this. Okay, and here if we have secondary storage devices, hard disk, CD-ROM. Okay, like that. So here the data is stored, or it is also two-way process. You can see bi-directional arrow. Okay, and arithmetic logic unit is doing arithmetic and logical operations, and memory unit is helping in keeping the data in the storage device, and the control unit is controlling all the input, storage and output units. So control unit is the head of the CPU. Okay, we can say, and then the output unit is also getting some output from here, this control unit. Okay, now let's see, students, what are the components of CPU. I have already told you that memory unit, arithmetic logic unit and control unit. Let's see one by one about memory unit, arithmetic logic unit and control unit. So what is memory unit? Memory unit is the peripheral storage of a computer. It stores both data and instruction. The data and instruction can be stored permanently in this unit so that they are available whenever required. The memory unit is linked with the other part of the computer and send them the data when needed. Okay, so what is memory unit? Memory unit is the storage device, means where we can store something, means something or everything into our computer, and these are of two types, that is internal memory and external memory. Now let's see what are the internal memory and external memory. Means a memory unit consists of a storage device, and it is of two type, and it is internal memory and external memory. Again, internal memory is divided into two type, RAM and ROM. So keep it in your mind that a storage device is of two type, internal, external, and then internal memory is of two type, that is RAM and ROM. See, RAM stand for random access memory and ROM stand for read only memory. See what it is written here. Every computer has a certain amount of memory, usually referred as the main memory. This is called the internal memory or primary memory. Means primary memory is the memory which is inside the CPU. Priorly it is set there. It is in the form of RAM and ROM. There are some ROMs that is set on the CPU, and ROM, you know very well that ROM is volatile memory means in which data are erased whenever the power is cut. Okay. Primary memory is the place where data and programs are stored temporarily or as long as they are being executed. So this primary memory contain not the data permanently but temporarily. It is very fast and expensive but has limited storage capacity. So internal memory, whether it is ROM or whether it is RAM, have very limited capacity. It is only for giving you the main or important information to you. Means ROM, for example, BIOS. I had told you what is BIOS. That is basic input output system software. That is stored in the ROM of the ROM, and that ROM is set in the motherboard of the computer, and that very BIOS is very important for installing any type of operating system, whether it is Windows 7, Windows 8, or any window, or even in other operating system, whether it is Linux, Unix, or other other any operating system. So ROMs are important and very expensive also, because you know very well that motherboard is very costlier in all the parts of the computer. Okay. Means CPU is costlier. And why CPU is costlier, expensive? Because this CPU is made up have this motherboard. Now let's see what is RAM. RAM stands for random access memory, and is a type of computer internal memory that can access randomly. Means it can be used for random access. Means it fetch the data exactly at the time when we click on that very information, or when we want that information, by clicking on with the mouse or by pressing our keyboard. So whatever information we enter into the computer goes into the RAM. So every information travel through the RAM, and then it is set into the um, uh, hard disk or permanent storage RAM, and remains there as long as we are working on the application. So data are firstly save on RAM, and whenever we are working, means up to which time, up to the time which we are working on the computer, then that very time the data remains there, but after that the data get erased from there. But if you are saving it, it will get permanently stored on hard disk. It is a volatile memory, as data and instructions are stored temporarily during the processing only, and are lost forever when the computer is switched off. I already explained you this, that whenever the power supply is cut, then the data is get erased from the RAM, and there is nothing on the RAM. And when we start the computer, that is also called the booting of the computer. So during the booting of the computer, all the data from hard disk or the important device get transferred, get copied into the RAM, and then our computer get started. Okay. Now the RAM is of following type. You can see RAM is of 4 types, that is DRAM, SRAM, SDRAM, and DDRAM. DDR. Okay. Means DDR means double data rate memory. See, I'm explaining one by one these all the 4 types of RAM, random access memory. Okay. So first of all, dynamic random access memory. It was the very first type of RAM, and see what it does. uh, it stores data temporarily, as the data is lost when the power supply is suspended. It needs to be refreshed periodically in order to retain data. So DRAM, uh, when used in our system, then it should be every time refreshed for random access, for quick access of the resource from the hard disk or your system. Okay. So DRAM stand for dynamic, and it provide the fast access, but it need periodically refreshed. Okay. And uh, it is similar. This power, when the power is supply, when the power supply is suspended, then the data is get erased and lost. So this is very common in DRAM, SRAM, and SDRAM and DDRAM. In both, in this, all these, the situation is very same. Okay, all the data get erased in all these 4 types of RAM when the power supply is cut. No any RAM have the data permanently stored on it. Okay, but there is difference. The first, you can see, you can differentiate each type of RAM with the help of other important features. For example, in DRAM it need to be refreshed. In SRAM, what is SRAM? You can see it is faster and more expensive than DRAM. It is one of the difference from the DRAM, and it not to be refreshed. Okay, here we need not to refresh every time our RAM to retain the information or data, and it also loses the data when the power is cut. I said that it is very common in every RAM. SDRAM. SDRAM means synchronous dynamic random access memory. It uses a synchronous interface to transmit large amount of data at high speed. Means it synchronizes the data. Means to it joins the data together to provide more speed. Okay, so for example, it may contain some information like keeping the index of all the things, means number of all the resources that is present in our hard disk, and that very index is used to provide very fast access here in SDRAM. This improves the efficiency of computer as data is delivered in a shorter duration. So computer become very faster, efficient. Means if data rate means access rate is fast, then our computer is said to be have more efficiency. Okay, now double data rate memory. It is the very fastest in those days. Now we have some more type of devices, and we have more different tools by which our computer has become more faster. It is said that DDRAM was used in Pentium 4 system. It requires less power and has a speed which is double than the SDRAM. So it only the difference among these 4 is that all the next RAM is faster than the previous one, and other thing is that SRAM need not to be refreshed. Similarly, SDRAM also need not to be refreshed, but SDRAM provide more high speed and DDRAM provide double speed. Okay, now what is ROM? And see, ROM stands for read only memory. It is the type of memory which from which information can only be read wherever, whereas in RAM information can be read from and written to. Okay, this ROM means read only memory, and this type of memory is called non-volatile memory. Why it is called non-volatile memory? Because data are permanently stored into the ROM. Here we don't need to need to refresh the data, or means not need to store the data temporarily. Means a hard disk, CD-ROM, and then some ROM chip that is already built in the motherboard, that comes in built-in form in the motherboard. That are the example of ROM. So there are also different types of ROM. You can see the example of ROM here. It is given an audio video disc ROM, one song burned to the CD. It is permanently there. Okay, now types of ROM: PROM, EPROM, EEPROM and flash memory and maxed memory, maxed ROM. So I think this is our last topic that we are going to cover today. So let's see. PROM, programmable read only memory. This type of memory is programmed and it is permanent. Okay, the content can be programmed using a special device known as okay. Now let's see. So a special device known as PROM programmer. So PROM programmer is a special device on which this program is written and once set, and if once set it is permanent there, it is not going to erased. It is also called OTP. OTP is one time programmable ROM, which means it can be programmed only once at the time of manufacturing and cannot be modified later. PROM provides faster and less expensive approach for storing. Okay, so PROM, I had told you about BIOS, basic input output system, that is also stored in PROM and it is set in the motherboard. Okay, so you know that this PROM do not get erased easily when once written, and if it get erased, it is very difficult, it is not possible for PROM to make it repair it. But there is a second type of ROM, that is EPROM, erasable programmable read only memory. This gives us flexibility to make the ROM again functional if something get erased or something get damaged from the program that is stored for the first time. And now this day we have different means we have EEPROM this day, and also this memory EPROM is also coming. So let's see what is EPROM, and it can be erased and programmed repeatedly with the help of specialized software. So this is also very difficult to erase and program. It is only done with the help of a special software and only the expert can do. For example, in Patna you can see this place, Dak Bungalow, SP Barma Road, Harinivas. Here you can get your motherboard repair if your ROM has been erased, means if your CPU is not getting started and everything has been erased. Okay, so it is it can be erased and repaired with the help of a special software known as I don't know, I don't have the memory of that very software. You have to find it and tell me in my comment section at what are the software by which we can do this erasing and programming of EPROM. The content stored on the chip can be erased exposing it to ultraviolet rays. Reprogramming removes the entire content present on the chip. This procedure can be carried out many times. However, the constant erasing and rewriting will eventually render the chip useless. Okay, so if you are doing many times erasing and programming, then it may harm your ROM and it become useless. Okay, it is not possible to retain the selective data from ROM. So, so we cannot uh, uh, means when we are doing erasing, then we are unable to keep few of the data of the ROM that has been previously programmed, and change half or few part of the program. So it is not possible to do a half erasing or uh, uh, keeping or what it is saying, to retain the selective data. We cannot retain means we cannot keep the previous data that was on the computer or the that was on the ROM. Okay, so though this last sentence that is saying that it is not possible to retain the selective data, that has been removed in EEPROM, that is electronically programmable erasable programmable read-only memory. The content on the chip can be erased and reprogrammed in block instead of 1 byte at a time. It has the provision of selective removal, which means we can erase the particular data byte by byte instead of erasing it completely. Means with the help of electronic eraser, means the EEPROM that has come as electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. In this we can only erase few part bit by bit. If we are trying to save our the previous previous data, then we can save in EEPROM. That was not possible. It is said here that it is not possible in EEPROM. Okay, so and this EEPROM was erased with the help of ultraviolet rays, but this EEPROM is erased with the help of electronic signal or electronically. Okay, next is flash memory. So what is flash memory? Did you get the difference between EEPROM and EEPROM? If you not, please comment. I will explain you once again. So flash memory. What is flash memory? Flash memory is that you see pen drive or anything that get set in any device and automatically it runs. Okay, like memory chip with the help of card reader you use, or pen drive, or some signature digital signature also comes like pen drive, that is also flash memory. So it is a specific type of EEPROM which maintain the stored information when even without a power supply. The content can be erased and reprogrammed into big sections, making it faster than regular EEPROM. Flash memory, being durable, is majorly used in memory cards, mobile phones, MP3 players, etc. So this flash memory is used in many of the devices and it can be erased as many times as you want. And the last topic of the day is masked ROM. What is masked ROM? It is a memory whose contents are programmed during the manufacturing. Okay, masked ROM is the ROM which comes with the help with the hard disk. Sorry, with the hardwares, means it comes inbuilt in the motherboard. On the motherboard, masked ROM is already built and it comes from the manufacturer side. We people or any user cannot change it easily. This chip contains software mask that is burned on the chip during the design phase of the semiconductor manufacturing process. It is used in the computer system that require long time sustainability. Means Means whenever you are formatting your computer or doing anything to your computer, means using any other operating system, then this mask ROM do not get changed. It is the ROM which have the BIOS in it. Okay, see what it is written about motherboard. See, a motherboard is the main circuit board of the microcomputer that holds many crucial component system. It provides connector for other peripherals. It contains the processor chip, BIOS, memory chip, external storage controller for video display and sound expansion slots for connecting additional circuit boards. So this motherboard comes with the masked ROM. So student, in next class I am going to cover cache memory and external memory, and then question answer also. So keep watching, keep learning. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.